I was interested to see on the slide about, in addition to statutory duties, among the long list of things that funding is provided to address is school crossing patrols. Now, I've had issues in my ward with school crossing patrols disappearing because individuals retire, and I've been told that they're not going to be replaced. Now, this kind of suggests there is money to replace them, but I'm not sure that's actually the case. So perhaps if we could clarify about whether there is the ability to replace when one of the school crossing people retires, there is funding available, because I've been told there isn't, but this kind of suggests that maybe there is. And then my other question, well, several questions. One is around the slide that shows the trends and benchmarking, and it shows the statistics. Now, I think we need the numbers, because if you have small numbers, an increase of 1 or 2 can have a big impact on the percentage. So when I look at the cars and it's gone up by 36.4%, that might be one more accident, one more person killed, or it might be 25 people killed. I have no idea. So I don't think this, whilst I understand how it's been presented like this, it doesn't help us because we can't really get that scale of problem. Because obviously on the previous page you've listed the total numbers, but I don't know how that breaks down across the categories. So I'm none the wiser, if I'm really honest, about whether I should be concerned about this car collision or not. Certainly I'm aware of some. My other comment is I'm not convinced by the Vision Zero at all in any shape or form. My experience of road safety is more often than not, a big element of the problem in road safety is driver behaviour. And actually I don't see how your Vision Zero and all of these wonderful people from the Combined Authority and the councils are ever going to change individuals' behaviour. You can't change the roads to stop all of the behaviours. I'm aware of one sad case in my ward where a gentleman died, but that gentleman was, when he crashed, he was on the wrong side of the road, he was speeding at 60 miles an hour, and he didn't have a seatbelt on. I don't think anything the council does ever would have prevented that, because that was an individual choice that that individual made, very unwise, but that was how they behaved. And I can think of other examples in my own ward over the last few years where you've got similar examples where it's been poor driving behaviour that has led to accidents and collisions. And it doesn't matter what you do to the roads. It doesn't matter what speed limit you introduce, because they ignore them. What I would have liked to have heard a lot more about was about enforcement and actions that are being taken both by the council, where the council has powers, if it has powers, but particularly about how we're perhaps putting some pressure on the police to make sure that it has an appropriate priority. Because actually that's what I hear every week across my ward, and I'm sure all members present get similar feedback about they want to see more enforcement, they want to see these speeding drivers tackled. And I'm afraid the Vision Zero will never get to zero. It's an impossible thing to try and achieve, and suggesting we're going to reduce by 11 a year, it's almost like we're counting beans or something. This is people's lives, and you know the only way it will change is if people start to fear that they're going to be caught by the police and they're going to be prosecuted. And so long as they don't feel that, and so long as it isn't felt to be a priority by the West Yorkshire Police, people will continue to speed, they'll continue to not wear their seatbelt, they'll continue to talk on their mobile phone while they're driving. And that's what needs to be tackled. It is about enforcement. The only way you will change behaviour is through enforcement. But it doesn't talk a lot about enforcement in here. I accept that that is not a responsibility primarily of the council. It is primarily a responsibility of the West Yorkshire Police. But we need to be putting that pressure on West Yorkshire Police to start to address some of those issues. Because I'm sure every colleague here has the same issues in their wards. I'd be amazed if they didn't. And I think, if I may Mayor, Chair. I've just promoted you. I'll leave it at that.